Hi and welcome to Treasurie. I'm Louisa and today I'm going to give you lesson 1 of how to crochet. In this lesson we're going to learn how to do a slip knot which will attach the yarn to the hook. We're then going to do a foundation chain which starts off our crochet piece, and we're going to learn the easy to do single crochet stitch. In order to make this tutorial as easy as possible, I'm using a super jumbo yarn so you can see every stitch and every detail up close. If you're a beginner, I recommend you use some worsted weight yarn. That's how a swatch of single crochet looks, and that's some acrylic worsted weight yarn and a 5mm hook. Always choose something that's acrylic or a wool blend when you're starting off, because cotton tends to split a lot. Let's get started and learn how to do a slip knot. First thing, we have to get the yarn on your hook. In order to do that, we're going to do a slip knot. So if you unravel a bit of yarn, you'll have your tail and you'll have the end that's attached to the ball still. Grab the end that's attached to the ball and put it over the other end in a loop. So we have a nice loop, tail end underneath. Grab your little pinches and we're going to put it through that loop. So you lift it up a little bit so you can get it through. Open up a little bit and we're going to grab the yarn on the ball end. So see that tail is just resting nicely. Grab the end of the ball end. Now grab the tail with your left hand and pull gently. So you're pulling a loop through the middle of that hole. There we go. That's your slip knot. This is an adjustable knot, so look at this. If I pull it, you need to pull the ball end, not the tail end. So pull it, look at that, it gets a little bit smaller. It does take a while to get the slip knot right, so don't be afraid to rewind the video and see that a couple of times. Once you've done it a couple of times though, it is so easy and you'll be able to do it in your sleep. Okay, we need to chain. So the chain is on the bottom, and that's what all crochet pieces will start out with. Now we have the knot on the hook. There's our tail and there's our end attached to the ball. We need to be able to hold the hook correctly. Now, depending on your comfort, it's okay to hold it like a knife. So just as if you're cutting your meat, or you can hold it like a pencil. See, that's pencil grip from underneath. Just do whichever way is comfortable for you. So I like knife grip, so holding it from the top. So this is the ball end. So just place it across your fingers on the inside. And I want you to grab with the end 3 fingers. See that motion? Just grab, and we still have our index and our thumb free. You're now going to put it behind the index finger, turn, and using your middle finger and your thumb, grab the tail end below. Okay, do you want me to do that one more time so you don't have to rewind? Okay. We have the tail here, ball end here. Pick it up on the right hand side like a knife or like a pencil. I'm doing knife. And with our left hand, palm up, close those 3 fingers over the yarn. Yarn behind your index finger, turn, and with your thumb and middle finger, you're going to grab the tail. That takes a little bit of getting used to, like everything, but just practice that so you have a really firm grip. Okay, first chain stitch. So yarn over, my hook is up. We're going to flip the hook so it's facing down, and the hook bit there is going to hook the yarn so it can't come out. And make sure you've got a nice steady grip on the tail and just pull that back through the loop. Okay, that's our first chain. Do another one. Make sure you don't pull too tight, because if you pull that too tight, so this loop is tight, you can't get the new stitch through it. So just lift up a little bit. You can see, you can kind of see, I've just got a small gap there. Okay, yarn over, my hook is up. I'm going to twist it. This twisting is with the right hand, twist it so it's facing down and pull through the loop. Okay, one more. Yarn over, twist and pull through. Now when you're a beginner, you want to make a really long chain. Don't go on to an actual stitch until you have the chain right. What you want to be able to do is have your chains really even. So even if you just make a long chain with half a ball, because what it will teach you is holding your yarn and getting a nice even tension, and that's really important before you move on. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Now when you're starting a project or a swatch to learn, just do about 20 stitches. My yarn is super bulky, so I have a lot less there. Okay, let's count stitches. You don't count the knot on the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you also don't count the loop on the hook. So that is 9 stitches. If you look at your chain, this is the bottom of the chain, and you can see, if I turn it to the side a little bit, there's actually these bumps. That's going to be the underneath, and the top of the chain looks like little V stitches, so little V's. When we do our first stitch, we're going to go right into the middle of each of those V's. Some tutorials will teach you to go through the back, through that back hump. That's great, but not for beginners. Beginners want to use the easiest methods. Okay, we have a foundation chain. Let's learn single crochet. So pick up your piece. As your chain gets longer, your fingers will be holding the chain instead of the tail, so you won't still be moving all the way down here. You'll keep moving your fingers up to keep a nice even tension. So in order to do our first single crochet, we're going to put our hook right into the middle of the V, the second stitch from the hook. So remember, don't count the one on the hook. We've got 1, number 2. We're going to insert our hook right into the middle of that V. We now want to do a yarn over and pull through. That's quite similar to the chain stitch. So yarn over with the hook up, spin so it's facing down, pull it through. You have 2 loops on the hook. Now yarn over again, don't forget to spin and pull it through both of those loops. And yahoo! You have done your first single crochet. Shall we do another one together? Move along to the next chain. Remember, we're going straight through the middle of that V. So insert. We now need to do the yarn over and pull it through. So yarn over, spin, pull it through. 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull it through both of those loops. 2 single crochet. Number 3, insert, yarn over and pull it through, and yarn over, pull through 2. So you're going to go all the way to the end. If you've done 20 stitches like I recommended, you'll be getting the hang of it by the end. So insert, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert, yarn over, pull through 2. See how that's curling up? That's perfectly normal. You can just use your fingers to straighten it up, or it will straighten up once you've done a few rows. Okay, we're almost at the end. Insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And last one, insert, yarn over and pull through, and pull through 2. We now have our first row of single crochet. So I'm just going to stretch it out to flatten it. This is row 1. I think you should give yourself a little pat on the back if you've got this far. Let's start row 2. In order to bring the yarn up to a new height, we need to chain 1. So chain 1. So remember, yarn over and pull through. that's a chain. And that doesn't actually count as a stitch for single crochet. We're now going to turn and we're going to start row 2. Some tutorials will have you chain 1 before turning and some will do chain 1 after turning. Both work exactly the same. Just do what's comfortable for you, but always do the chain 1. So our first stitch is actually going to go under the 2 V's at the base of that chain. So I'll just put in this needle here. See how we have 2 V shapes there? And we're going straight in. So it's above this one here, below that one. And if you look from the top, you're under both the V's. Okay, so insert, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. So that's how we do our first single crochet on every single row. Next stitch, insert under both of those V shapes, see that? Yarn over and pull through, you got your 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2. You can repeat that all the way to the end of the row. Insert, yarn over, pull through 2, insert, yarn over, pull through 2, and the last one, insert, yarn over and pull through 2. So you always just go into the last single crochet. You never go into the chain 1 at the end because that doesn't count as a stitch for single crochet. And there we go, 2 rows. And here I've done a 3rd row. The last thing you'll need to learn for our how to crochet tutorial for beginners is how to fasten it off. In order to finish the yarn, finish your row, pull up your loop just a little bit and cut your end, and you're going to do a chain. So yarn over and pull through, but keep pulling this time. Keep pulling so the tail comes through the loop. And then we're going to just tighten that with our fingers. And that won't come undone now. That's nice and secure, and that's how you fasten off crochet. We now need to weave the ends. So get a tapestry needle or a wool needle. Thread the end through the eye. You do need needles with pretty big eyes for that. And we're going to hide the end. Just insert the needle through a row of stitches. It'll go through so it won't really show on either side. Just go in about 1 inch and pull it tight, and then go back the way you came. You can go back into the same stitches or a row below. Just make sure you don't go exactly the same place, otherwise it'll come unraveled. So I've ended by going under, this time I'm going over and going back. Once again, making sure it's right through the middle and won't show on either side. And let's cut that off, and that'll be nice and secure. And that's our finished swatch. Thanks for watching lesson 1, how to crochet. Your next tutorial should be double crochet. That's a great stitch for making scarves. See you next time.